So here at Wine Vision 2014, I'm joined by Tyler Baillet, who's founder of Second Glass. He runs the hugely successful Wine Riot events in the United States. Now, Tyler, explain the concept to me, because I believe you wanted to get away from a scenario where people going to wine events paying maybe $85 a pop, and you describe a scenario where there were some millennials just sitting at the back with their heads down.
Yeah.
Were intimidated by the category, didn't really want to get involved, and in the end just thought, sod this, go and get drunk.
Yeah, and I felt that there were so many wine events out there that were failing both the consumers who paid a lot of money, but also failing the wineries that came to show their wines. And so what we wanted to do was kind of take your traditional walk-around wine event and just update it for a new generation. So instead of brightly lit room during the day, we dimmed the lights and did it at night. We added some music, but we also built, like a mobile app, and we tried to bring wine, and it's all about education, but it's actually a fun thing to do.
And you had fake tattoos as well.
And we have fake tattoos, quite popular.
And you used this brilliant analogy in your presentation. You were talking about the marketing of computers in the 1990s and about how important it was from the manufacturer's standpoint that the consumer knew how fast your processor was and the size of your cache. And you think that the wine is faced now with similar challenges in terms of marketing and communications?
Yeah, I think that technical information and technical language that's been used in the winery for professionals to speak with each other has somehow become marketing copy. And I think the industry is growing rapidly, but that might not be because of the wine industry. And I think the computer industry in the 90s you can really look at. You had all these different producers making computers, and nobody had a clue how to market them. And it wasn't until Apple came along with the iMac and they just simplified it. They didn't tell people how fast the computer was. They told people what they could do with the computer.
So people don't care that a particular red wine goes with duck confit with orange.
Yeah, they just want to know that, I should have this wine on a date. This is more of a date wine. Oh, this is a wine I should have when I go to the beach. This wine goes with fish. This wine goes with chicken. Just kind of general basic information.
Okay, so in terms of marketing to millennials, how does it differ from the boomer generation? It's not a one-size-fits-all scenario clearly in marketing.
No, it isn't. But you deal with a lot of more benefits, right? I've actually never marketed to the boomers, so I don't know the exact difference. But I think that we're dealing with people that are really open to trying new things. They want to taste different. They want experiences too. And the most fascinating thing I think is that you can kind of challenge people to do something. Come here and taste this thing and learn about it. Whereas, I don't know, I think the older generation is well, I already know what I like. And so you can't really do a whole lot with that,
Yeah, sure. So, where do you go with Wine Riot now? You've had these successful events in the United States. You've tried to bring the concept over to Europe. Maybe a bit easier here with the lack of the three-tier distribution system.
It is something we're really strongly looking at. We've done almost 30 events now. We've moved a small city through the events over the last few years. And it's kind of well, what do we do with this now? Because we have this really cool thing, but how do we take it to the next level? And it's been a challenge for us for a number of years. And, this started out as throwing 30-person events in my apartment. And so we've kept on making it bigger and what's next. And, it's coming to things like this, like Wine Vision is great because I get to talk to a lot of people and I get a lot of really good ideas.
Yeah, sure. And of course, the questions from the audience, obviously we've got, wine growers, wine producers there, asking what you can do with them. And, you have some pretty innovative data capture in terms of mobile platforms. How does that work and how can you help winemakers?
Yeah, ultimately, I love smaller producers. We work really close with smaller producers. There's a winery in Massachusetts, of all places, right outside of Boston, makes spectacular sparkling wine. And we've partnered with them, and we work with them, and we help build out their marketing, and we help take their passion and translate that to marketing to this new generation. And that's really what we love doing, and we have a mobile app so people can remember what you actually drink, and that's huge because people come to these events and they'll try all these things and great, I just tried 4 German wines and a Croatian wine. Good luck remembering those,
Sure.
And so we can help with that. And, I I love the wine industry. I think it's such a large, huge industry globally, but it's a really small community. And I think that, helping small producers reach customers is like, there's a lot of benefit.
I guess I can segue on to my last question there. I mean, how entrenched is the wine industry? And there you were quite impassioned saying that, look guys, you've got 6 years to engage these 70 million, I think it was, millennial consumers in 6 years' time.
Arguably you probably have less time, but in 6 years they'll all be of drinking age in the United States, like 70 million potential customers. And from my view, it's almost too little too late, but I think people have to stop thinking about their own brands and just market wine, If people buy wine, they're inevitably going to buy your wine. And you see this happening with smaller regions, like let's just get people to buy Bordeaux. Let's just get people to buy, like Languedoc wines. And I think that needs just to happen with wine in general, because you have spirits, you have like beer. This growth, who knows if it's going to last? And the wine industry is assuming that people are going to start buying $50 bottles. What if they don't? You should at least try to get them to. And right now, I think we'll see.
It's true.
I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic, but something needs to be done.
I'm optimistic as well. I think you're right. You've hit the nail on the head there. Wine needs to be more accessible. It needs to be, in terms of engaging people with an authentic experience at a lower price point. It's vitally important.
Yeah.
And above all, I think what we've learned from your presentation today is we need that sense of fun.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
It's alcohol.
Okay. Well, we're going to go and have a drink and let's go and have some fun. Thank you, Tyler.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Cheers.